Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for the 7th of July. Time is just whizzing right by. It's hard to believe this year's halfway through. Craziness. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, I'll pull one card for each sign, and we'll be looking at how the overall energy is impacting each sign today as we go through the zodiac. If you know your sun sign, you can get a tidbit of information here. If you know your friend's sun sign, you can get a tidbit more. And if you know your houses, if you know your ascendant and therefore your houses, then you can actually pull quite a bit of juice out of a quick video like this. Overall energy shows up as the Queen of Swords. Taking care of business is what I hear as soon as I glance at this card. My Queen of Swords lady is, excuse me, she is somebody who is very business minded. She's very logical. She's very detail oriented. She's good at setting goals and following through with goals. Um, she also still indicates somebody who is likes to use her skills and abilities to encourage and uplift others as well. She doesn't have to be a female just because she shows up as a queen. This can be a person who is a male with these personality traits as well. So even though a Queen of Swords type of personality is not going to express their emotions as much as, say, a water sign or a fire sign or even an earth sign would, um, that doesn't mean that they don't have them and that they don't want to help people, but they want to help people in a more cut and dried, direct and to the point type of way. There's not a lot of soft and fluffiness around this personality. There just isn't. And that's okay. It doesn't mean they're not having feelings. It just means that they relate to the world in a way that's much more analytical and logical. The world and other people. All right. So let's look at what this person taking care of business has to do with us today, each of the signs. For some of us, this is going to be us. For others of us, this is someone we're interacting with. Let's take a peek. Taking care of business. Some of you may be working overtime today, by the way, because isn't that like the next line in that song? Taking care of business and working overtime. All right, let's jump in. Aries. Hierophant in reverse. You're taking care of business today, definitely. With that Hierophant in reverse, you are doing it in a more unconventional way. Surprise, surprise. Aries does things in unconventional ways typically anyway. But taking care of business, but looking at things from a different perspective and handling it maybe in a way that other people wouldn't necessarily think about, but that really actually works in your situation. Next up, looking at Taurus. Emperor showing up in reverse. Taurus, I get the strong impression that you are cutting out somebody who has been trying to step into your territory, trying to make decisions for you, trying to push you into a certain direction or another. I just really get the sense that you're like, you know what? I don't even really need to talk to this person. I have my plan. I know what I'm doing. I do not need input, which is going to be pushy from this person whatsoever. So this is Taurus, this is taking care of business, and it is intentionally excluding somebody's input because you feel like their input is more intrusive than actually constructive. That's what we see happening with you today. Next up, we're going to look at Gemini. See what comes up in the Gemini energy today. That's you guys' elevator music while I'm shuffling. I'm shuffling a long time for you Geminis. That means there's a lot going on. There's more going on than just what I'm talking about in this video for sure. All right, let's see, let's see, let's see. Six of Wands in reverse, Geminis. You've got somebody who's very logical and analytical that is not really um, appreciating what you bring to the table, Geminis. Kind of surprising because this is really definitely air sign energy that is not noticing and appreciating air sign energy. Like, what's up with that? That should be where the gel really happens. Um, hmm, hmm. Yeah, but I think they're not showing uh, appreciation for you. It's interesting. I think that you're an integral part of things for some of these people, and that they're not showing appreciation is more a matter of sort of overlooking because there's other things on their plate that is drawing their attention that needs to be taken care of. I don't feel like that excuses it though. And I feel like also what's happening is this is kind of a demotivating factor for you. It makes you feel less like doing things that they really appreciate or really ideally would appreciate because that little kudos pat on the back factor isn't there. And it's kind of amazing how much that little pat on the back factor motivates us as human beings. But it does, it has a huge impact and not on any one sign, on all of us. All right, let's look at Cancer next. Judgment card coming up in reverse, Cancers. Oh. Some of you are getting a job offer. That's not going to be true for all of you, but some of you are getting a job offer that requires you to be very analytical and logical. And I think you're turning that down. Hmm. Of course, that's not going to be true for every single Cancer. hmm There is some kind of opportunity coming up for you guys, though, that does require you to be detail oriented, logical, analytical, whether it's a job or whether it's something going on in, in your personal life where you have an opportunity to do something like that. I think you're recognizing right off the bat that's really not the best fit for me. And I'm hearing, especially not right now. So for a lot of you, it may be really hard for you to be in a logical, analytical place at the moment. There may be a lot going on emotionally. Of course, we just had that full moon. It's just barely wearing off completely right now. So, yeah. And that may be have a big impact on how you're feeling about being logical at the moment. You maybe have struggled with that over the last few days because of that full moon, and it makes you kind of question if you can do that moving forward. So I think you're turning down some kind of situation, or you're passing on some kind of situation that asks you to be logical and analytical because you're just feeling like that's just not my strong suit right now. All right. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Cancers generally, your strong suit is more emotional intelligence, intuition, things that you kind of have to feel your way through rather than logic your way through. Those are generally your wheelhouse anyway. Okay, so Leo, Four of Wands. You're interacting with somebody today, and this is a member of the family who's very logical, analytical. Let's look at the bottom line. You may actually be asking this person for advice as you're considering something. For some of you, they will be giving you advice unasked for. It's solid advice, is what I'm hearing, though, whether you asked for it or not. I'm hearing that this is some solid advice. Definitely worth paying attention to whenever this shows up, whether you actually requested this advice or not. They have a good perspective on this, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Okay, let's look at Virgo. Eight of Pentacles. Virgos, I think you're taking care of business today. I think this is you working, doing your thing. And I think with the overall energy, you're doing it in a very analytical way. You're doing it in an efficient way, a way that makes sense. This is you working on work. Now, work for me can be a lot of things. Work can be what we do when we go and clock in and work for somebody else. It can be what we do on our own business. It can be what we do around the house. It can be what we do as a volunteer. So work is one of those cards that for me, it applies in a lot of different places in life, depending what the context is. So you guys will recognize that much more quickly than I will, like where that is, especially only with two cards. If we were doing more cards and doing a full reading, then I could tell you all about it. But we're just doing two cards because we're making these a reasonable time frame for everybody to watch. All right, next up, we're looking at Libra. Libra, we have the Star card showing up in reverse. Well, along with that Queen of Swords character, you do have somebody in your sphere of influence that was hoping and expecting good things to come out of something. And now, as they're looking at things in a more logical way, and I feel like there are some kind of changes that have transpired recently, now they're not so hopeful about this anymore. And I think you're going to be, some of you are going to be hearing about it, but all of you are going to be witnessing this in a person in your sphere of influence. This is kind of your heads up. For some of you, you're going to be kind of supportive people to this person as they deal with the emotions around this. For others of you, this is just kind of a heads up that maybe somebody's not going to be in such a good mood. Maybe this is not the day to ask for a promotion or a raise or anything else nice from this person right now. Because they're probably feeling a little bit stressed out and a little bit scrambling about, well, what am I going to do then if this is not going to work out? So you want to give them a little bit of space. Next up, we're looking at Scorpio. Five of Wands in reverse. Scorpios, this is us taking care of business and we are being very focused on it. There's lots of opportunity for distraction around us, but we are not going for that opportunity. We are focusing on taking care of business, being logical, being analytical, being efficient in whatever our business is. Next up, we're looking at Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Chariot card showing up for you. Some of you have that Queen of Swords personality, and if you don't know what that personality is, you may want to scroll back to the beginning of the video because I don't want to explain it 13 different times. But what I'm hearing is the Queen of Swords is on the move. So your Queen of Swords personality is moving. For some of you, this person may be coming to your home base, whether that's at work, whether that's a residence, whatever your home base is. If it's a yoga studio, whatever. You've got a Queen of Swords, somebody who's being very logical, etc. Like I said, scroll back to the beginning if you didn't catch it already. Coming into your space is what I'm feeling here. And I think that this could actually work out very well for you, Sagittarius, whenever she does. He or she. All right, next up, we're going to look at Capricorn. Boop ba da doop, boop boop ba da doop, boop boop. Capricorn. Queen of Wands showing up in reverse. What is happening here, Capricorn? Capricorn, I feel like you have somebody who's very logical, analytical, detail-oriented, telling you what needs to happen. With the Queen of Wands coming up in reverse, I would be very surprised if you don't tell this person to go shove it. I would be very surprised. I know you're thinking it. If you're not saying it out loud, that is simply out of self-preservation. I think you're not very excited about whatever this is that this person is telling you needs to happen. That's not making you thrilled. And I don't think you really have enough loyalty to this person to want um, to particularly want to put out the energy and the effort to just make them happy. They just haven't given you a good enough reason for you to really want to do whatever this is. I think you're thinking, why ever they're telling you to do that? Probably not even a word, why ever. I think you're thinking that's just ridiculous and bogus. What an idiot is what I'm hearing. So you guys are having a pretty strong reaction to our Queen of Swords personality. That's probably one of the strongest reactions that I've actually heard words from while I'm reading. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I hope some of you guys leave me some feedback about what degree that reaction actually goes to. All right, let's look at Aquarius. Aquarius. Three of Swords showing up in reverse, Aquarius. We like this card in reverse. It talks about healing up from some kind of heartache or heartbreak. And this is interesting, Aquarius. I think you're doing your own healing. I don't think this is closure from talking to somebody else or anything else. I don't think you're really having any help on this healing. I think what's going on is you're looking at the situation where you got hurt emotionally. You're looking at that situation logically, and you're coming to the conclusion that, you know what? I'm not quite sure what I was doing in that situation anyway. I'm not quite sure what I thought I was going to get out of that anyway. Like, obviously, that situation turned out the way it did. Of course it did. Thank God it did. That's where I feel like you're getting today. You may not recognize it yet, or you may already be partway there, but I think you're getting all the way there today. All right, next up, we're looking at Pisces. Pisces. Let's see what you have. See what you have. Okay, Pisces. Ace of Cups coming up in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. Oh, yeah. You've got somebody in your sphere of influence who is very analytical, logical, who is showing you their true colors. I think you're seeing their true motivations or their true intentions today. Generally, when we have this card come up, and I think this is going to be true for a lot of you guys too, um, you might have had these people on a pedestal. You know, you may have thought that they were unrealistically good, you know. Kind of like how people do that with celebrities. They think they're so wonderful, and then they meet them in person and they find out they're human, and maybe some of them are kind of mean, and maybe they catch them on a bad day, and so they think the person is now grumpy. Well, they come off that pedestal really quick, right? All of a sudden, they're a human. They're just like the neighbor. This is what this is. You have somebody who's very logical, analytical. You're going to see their true colors. And all of a sudden, you're going to be kicking that pedestal out from under them. You're not going to be thinking that they are, you know, that much closer to God than you. You're going to be seeing them as, oh, wait, they're human. They have flaws too. They have vulnerabilities too. They have hurts too. And recognizing that, you know, um, sometimes we have to make adjustments when people around us are human. We thought they could handle anything and everything. And then we realize, oh, I hurt their feelings. I didn't mean to do that. You know, so the pedestal's coming down. You're starting to see this person as more of a human as they reveal their true self to you. It can be a little bit of a disappointing, like a letdown type of feeling when we realize somebody is more human. But it has more integrity. and it allows you to be there more for that person than what you would have ever dreamed of before. All right, so that's what we have for today. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And I wish you all a fantastic day. Please remember, leave some comments down below, share this video out to the world, and put some thumbs ups if you benefited from it. Also, if you guys want to book a reading or a Reiki session with me, all my contact information is on that website up above, and we can do that and we'll get you taken care of as quick as we can. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Peace out.